Jirik, North Dakota State University, defensive end, number 93. It's a pretty cool award. Pretty cool to be named to a watch list like that with so many great players in the FCS and so many kids playing at that level. It's pretty cool to be recognized as one of the top players. The NFL would definitely be a great opportunity for me. I've always been a dream of mine to try to play football at the highest level, and if that means the NFL, it means the NFL, and that'd be a pretty cool experience to go play in front of 70,000 fans or 80,000 fans over a big stadium and something like that, and just get the experience playing against people that I've always looked up growing up to and stuff like that. It'd be a pretty cool experience, and hopefully I get an opportunity after my career's over here at NDSU. One of the most memorable moments, maybe the championship game last year, fourth down stop that we had. Big play late. I think it was the second half. Big play. Just came across, got running back in the backfield, knocked him for a loss. Or let's see, Western Illinois. I think last year I had two sacks to start off the game there, so that was a pretty good memory for me as well. The Missouri Valley, I think, is kind of a pretty dominant conference. We think a lot of the teams that we play outside of our conference don't compare to a lot of teams we play in the Missouri Valley, just because week in, week out, I think it's one of the toughest opponents you'll see all year. And for rivalries, I think South Dakota State's kind of the obvious one, just because South Dakota, North Dakota rivalry right there. We got the Dakota marker between us, so there's a trophy and everything in between the teams. So that's always a big game, a fun game that you want to win. But every conference game is huge for us because the goal is always win the conference. You can make the playoffs and you got to go from there. And it always starts at the conference, and we got a tough one to go through. Probably my favorite move is just a straight up speed rush, just get up and go and try to run right past the tackle. And my favorite change up from that is probably go from speed to power when they're kind of not expecting it. It's kind of a good move to mix it up with and get the tackle off balance. You can get them with a good shot. Usually drive a 330-pound guy back 10 yards into a quarterback. It's usually a pretty good feeling when the guy's 80 pounds heavier than you. We don't really have any big games to circle. Last year we had Minnesota, and we had a lot of kids from Minnesota, so that was our big game that we had circled. Our SPS game's always a fun one to play. We play Colorado State this year, so that one's circled a little bit. But I think just every Missouri Valley game's kind of circled this year, just because there's so many good teams, and anyone in the conference I think has a shot to win it this year. So we kind of focus on we want to take it one game at a time with Robert Morris to start, but one game at a time in the conference as well. I mean, we got to win every time there. Yeah, things have definitely changed a little bit. Everywhere you go, everyone kind of congratulates you. Said good job on last year, and how are we going to do it again this year and whatnot like that. And this year we sold our tickets out already for every home game that we have this year. So that was the first time we've ever done that. So a lot more people getting a little bit more interest and kind of buying tickets anyways, or everyone's trying to gobble up in tickets or any chance they can get to come see the Bison this year. So that's a pretty cool feeling to see a community come together like that and come support us. We've always had great support, so it's good to see that they're all going to be out in the stands this fall. I've never really been to anywhere too interesting. Been to Mexico a few times on vacation, but I guess one thing interesting, I grew up in a small town, rural community in Northfield, Minnesota, and my parents own a sod farm, so we just grow grass and sell it to people. Everyone always finds it kind of interesting. Do you ever really realize how grass gets put into everyone's front yards? But we're the ones that deliver it and lay it down for them, so it's kind of interesting thing about me, I guess. He just kind of talked about, since we don't have any seniors on this team, we kind of want some of the juniors that have played a lot here, a lot of kids with experience to kind of step up and be leaders on this team. With only, I think we have 6 seniors now, so there's not a ton of senior leaders. So we talked to a bunch of us juniors about stepping up, and he's been to the top before. He's been at Nebraska when they've won championships and won big bowl games and stuff. So he knows what to do the seasons after and how to corral a team and how to lead a team in the right direction. So he's a good person to have in charge. Marcus is definitely a big part of our defense, and it's great to have him back covering people when we're rushing the passer, because we know we're going to probably have a little extra time to get after the quarterback. If he's in man coverage or zone coverage or covering somebody, he's gonna lock down the side of the field, and we know if we get some pressure on the quarterback and force him to make a mistake, we know Marcus is gonna take advantage of that mistake and hopefully turn it into the 6 points for our team, or at least a turnover. So it's nice to have someone as dominant as Marcus has been back there, and it really helps the whole defense out when you have somebody like that. Probably just some of us, the D-line, just some of the stuff that we do together. We just like to goof around and tell jokes. I guess there's nothing too humorous. Just a lot of one-liners from some of our guys. That I guess more inside jokes that most people don't understand. But we're just a bunch of clowns most of the time. I don't know. But I don't have any humorous stories that I can really come to mind with right now. Cole Jirik with the North Dakota State Bison. Thanks to all our fans for all of our support, and go Bison. See you in the stands this fall.